opportunity to say a few words because this guy right here saved my butt so many times. I owe him, and I really appreciate everything he did for me. John and I was thinking on the way over where we met and whether it was Addison Hub or Mesquite Hub or whatever it was, but it was a long time ago. It was 30 years ago. But I did want to mention, and a lot of the folks here were involved in this, but the first project, John and I really got into to know each other. This was the kind of project that you just really get to know somebody. And you guys all remember it was originally called PMIS, right? I know Joe, I know Bob, you were involved, and Ralph, and of course Bob, who took it over. But I made a bet with Jan Rutenberg, and I said we can convert the system. It was going to be mini computer, it was going to be tandem, and I made a bet with Jan Rutenberg. I said we can convert it to OS2 in I don't know. What was the
1 month?
No, I didn't say 1 month. Not 1 month. It was like 3 months.
Okay, it was
maybe 3 months. And the funniest part about it was, I said I was going to go over and do it and work on it. And John's like, oh, that's great. He goes, so you know COBOL? And I'm like, yeah, I know COBOL. You know, yeah. About a week later, I said, well, I had structured COBOL as a freshman in 101 and 102, I think. And I knew nothing about SQL, but we had me, and there was the two other guys remember the one guy who talked about his commute every day?
Yeah.
He talked about his commute on Route 80.
Yes.
And the other guy I don't think spoke English.
The other guy
No.
was Glowy, right? The guy you called Glowy?
I think it was V.
No, his name was V, yeah.
V. And the other guy was
Philippine.
Rich, and then I think we had, and then Michelle Sanko was the app dev manager. But John, if it wasn't, we actually did it. We met the goal.
We did like 95%
John
of
taught
it.
me everything I needed to know about microfocus COBOL. we had some curmudgeon-y IBM guy that used to yell at me because I didn't know how to code, or I didn't know SQL. Remember that?
Yeah, but you learned pretty quick.
I learned thanks to him, and I won the bet. We got to convert it to OS2,
And it worked?
And it worked. Went to Harrisburg, right?
Yeah.
We made how many trips to Harrisburg?
Oh, my
right?
God.
New hardware, Acers, all kinds of stuff. Gupta, remember Gupta? But John's the guy that really got it working. And then I left and turned it over to Bob, I think.
Wasn't that the first time we had it running out there? It was running 28 hours a day.
Yeah, 28 hours a day.
That was great on Monday. We weren't so bad, but Friday we were in serious trouble.
And I have to make a call out to Joe Lawless because he reverse engineered that Kofax code generator assembler
that
program.
needed the little thing we had
and
to plug into?
I sent it to Joe. Joe grabbed it, turned it around, and he got it working.
Yeah, I know. I think that was written in Fortran, wasn't it?
It was assembler. No, it was assembler because I looked at it. and I said, only Joe could fix this.
I had my book at the time.
And he did. And he did. But that was great. And then the other project I just want to mention is then. If he hadn't had enough of me then, he came to work for me in telecom. I think of all the people I've worked with, probably John, we haven't worked together in 15 years, but we probably worked together the most with John. I've worked with John the most number of years. But he came to work for me in telecom, and a bunch of you remember the Mac layer bridges.
Mac layer bridge.
And then the IBM router, which was it was a really bad product. and I recruited John. So John was the funniest thing. I just have to tell this story. Every morning, everybody had a responsibility of installing. We had to install like 300 routers on top of these crappy bridges, right? And everyone had to install like 5 routers a day. You remember this?
Yes, I do.
And John would eat a bowl of, remember it was
Cracklin' oat bran.
We used to call it Cracklin' whatever they put in that oat bran, that Cracklin' oat bran, every morning you'd eat a bowl of that and you'd go out and you'd install like 5 routers in one day. Everybody else barely could get a router run. And John was an absolute, this guy is brilliant. He was a machine. It was amazing. Then we got it all built, and then we had the bridge storms, the OSPF storms. We had, we're transporting all our PLD through this network, and it was down more than it was up, and it was like the Apollo 13 mission control, trying to keep it running. The ship was damaged, and but John was he was amazing. He was absolutely a workhorse, amazing.
Thank you, Tom.
Keeping that running, and I finally made it up to you when we went to I recruited him to ATG, Advanced Technology Group. We finally had like a normal assignment together. Unfortunately, it didn't last that long. I got pulled out after 2 years, and Rich was a key guy in that as well. We had a great time in that area. But John, I know it's really important. You know, people don't forget the contributions you make and the friendship. And the one thing about John was all that mayhem and all that stuff I got him into. He never once lost his cool on me. Never yelled. Never. Always maintained his cool, his composure, and just was a great pleasure to work with. He really is a great person, and I want to thank you and wish you all the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks.